Hello everyone, it's Bailey from Ainslie Bullion, back with another product spotlight. This week we have the very lovely but very heavy 5 kilo Ainslie silver bar. Now the Ainslie 5 kilo silver bar is one of, if not the biggest in the Ainslie fleet when it comes to silver bars. And I must say it is one of my favorites just because not only the price point, but also the design and just the way it feels in your hand. A lot of customers do gravitate towards this bar because when you look at the lovely stack, how good does that look when it's all lined up like that? Doesn't feel so good when you're the inventory manager and you're moving it all around onto a trolley, but that's part of the allure of it, I think, because of the density of the metal and the weight, and it really just feels like, it really just has an allure to the feeling of the wealth in your hands. Now, this bar here, I think, given the size of the bar and the refining process and the transportation process, it's actually quite beautiful, the fact that they can maintain this level of smoothness across the top of the bar throughout that whole process. It's very impressive. Which means that despite how heavy it is, it's actually quite convenient for storage because of how easily it stacks due to the design and the curved edge and the smooth top. Some common questions as to why people might buy this bar as opposed to something else, I think comes down to the type of customer that we have when you're buying bullion. I tend to find in my experience we have two types of customers. People who go for stuff that's a little bit smaller and prettier that they're happy to pay a higher premium for because of the perceived liquidity, and people who go for the bigger stuff because of the cost effectiveness. Now it's much cheaper for our refiners to produce bars of this size because of the process that goes into it, which means that you pay a price that's much closer to spot when you get a bar as big as this. So a lot of customers, if they're looking for bang for their buck, they'll go for bars like this because they end up saving a lot of money across their purchasing career. Another question may be, that's all good and well, but how do I get this and move it and transport and store it around? Well, Ainslie have a lot of storage options themselves, but if you are looking to pick it up from one of our branches, both our Brisbane and Melbourne branches have parking facilities underneath the building or just around the corner, and our lovely sales consultants can help you take it down to your car on a trolley, so you don't have to worry about that. Otherwise, usually people will just buy a safe, or these bars are actually quite heavy, so some people even just hide them in plain sight, but I don't know if I'd be game to try that. So the total weight of what I have here is about 30 kilos. So, despite the fact that it's quite a big bar and quite heavy, it actually still is quite a convenient way to store your wealth. So the common misconception with the bar size, getting the bigger bars, is that it takes up a lot of room. And I suppose there's some truth to that, but when you do look that, if there's $30,000 essentially sitting right here in front of me, it actually ends up being quite a convenient and safe way to store your wealth. And honestly, I think that's probably all there is to say about the 5 kilo bar. If you want a little bit more information, I definitely suggest heading over to ainslieBullion.com.au and checking out our web store to have a look through some of the other products that we have as well, because there are some bulk discounts you can get for certain items as well too. So be sure to check that out. And of course, we will see you here next week to showcase some of our more brilliant products.